Hey everybody, Felix Stoffelbaker here. I just wanted to make a quick video on what I really think is happening here in the entire market and crypto space as a whole. And what we're really seeing here is a small, relative to the entire population, a small group of people who own digital assets such as Bitcoin and EOS, things like Link, and a handful of other digital assets that are set to gain massive increases in money into their market caps and into the crypto market as a whole. I think many people are discounting still what is actually available as far as money to be able to come into these markets. And the only thing I can really compare this time in history to that people will be able to understand, but even this was on a much smaller scale than what I believe is about to happen, is the Apple stock, an Apple company in the mid-2000s, like 2005, 2006-ish, said that they would open up their software and their marketing from only Apple users to people who also use PCs. And they put out this white paper and they put out this press release about it, and many people didn't think anything of it, and a handful of people saw what was about to happen. And what it was there was a small group of people who were dedicated Apple users who only used Apple products, and those were the target consumer for the iPod and the products that Apple would come up with. Their customers, they would try to retain customers and obviously get new customers. So when they opened up, or said that they were opening up to the whole market, to PCs as well, this was major news, and a lot of people thought it could have been a good opportunity to be able to get in. Well, a lot of people ended up getting in on this news, and things kind of pumped, and things ended up taking a very different turn and ended up dropping like 30 or 40%, like pretty recently after this announcement, and pretty recently after several people ended up getting into the market. And the people who waited it out and just held their position, didn't sell at a loss, didn't sell at pennies on the dollar, in fact, people who even went as far as to go ahead and accumulate at those levels, at those lows, those turned out to be the huge winners in the entire space. Because what you saw next, what ended up happening was the stock ended up going from all-time lows to all-time highs to just absolutely taking off. And we see Apple, prices a couple of bucks, probably under $10 a share, to where Apple is now, 400, shooting up over $1 trillion market cap. It was several $billion at that time, probably not even in the tens of billions. So what we're seeing now in the crypto space is we're having roughly of a $250 trillion, around 250 to 350 billion in the market cap. And what we could see, and that was kind of after the March lows. Coming up now, we're starting to see the only real resistance level in Bitcoin is really just a final resistance level before we have a lot of room between where we're at and then a blow off top that happened at the peak in 2017. So once we get closer to there, you know, resistance really isn't an issue, and we're basically in price discovery mode, and we're traveling at extreme highs and higher highs that people don't really understand once the FOMO starts and once it gets rolling. You know, once this is a $1 trillion market cap, when we cross that threshold, I think you're going to see capital come in that, you know, we were dreaming of maybe just a year or two ago, and a lot of people thought would never happen, would laugh at you at Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Now, you know, they're going to be buying your coins. So I think that it's very important people take a look at just the amount of money that is able to come in, and what we're going to see grow from a small market cap relative to global assets, which is between $200 and $400 billion, and we're going to see that grow to potentially upwards of 10 trillion, in the tens of trillions as an entire market as a whole. So I think that pay attention to the inflows of money and understand that, you know, this is going to change people's lives, and this is where it goes mainstream. This is where people can absolutely take their net worth and turn it into something that they can pass down to their kids after having everything that they've ever dreamed of, and then some. So I think with that in mind, you know, take a serious look at digital assets and cryptocurrencies, especially things that have utility and provability, things like EOS and things like Bitcoin, things like Chainlink, and a handful of others. And if you watch my channel, you know there's some other videos where I go over some of the coins that I think are interesting. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Stoppelbaker out.